We are out here today with our Smith & Wesson M&P 1522 22 long rifle pistol. This is technically a pistol. Some things to keep in mind here while it's a little quieter and you can hear me is when I purchased this pistol, it came with this SB tactical brace attached. You may or you may not see them anymore with the brace on it. I don't know. Another thing that is important to keep in mind here is this firearm comes optics ready, which means it has the rail for attaching an optic or sights to, but it doesn't actually come with iron sights nor an optic. So you need to put some type of sights on this firearm after purchasing it. As you can see, I have both iron sights that are these Magpul Mbus sights, the Magpul Mbus sights, and then I have, for now, I have a Vortex Crossfire on here. I used to have originally my Hollow Sun something red dot. That's now on a different firearm, unfortunately. So let's see how this Vortex Crossfire does. I have a playing card target out there. They're not actual playing card size. It's just a target with a bunch of playing card designations on it. And let's take 10 shots at it. We're just going to shoot at random spots on it and see if we can get a poker hand. Here we go. All right. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to be using this barrel flag because if I set the firearm down on this side, the bolt release will close the bolt. I set it down on the other side, the range officers won't be able to see if the bolt's open. So this way with the barrel flag, it'll at least keep the barrel from closing all the way and they can tell that it's open. Let's review our target and see how we did. In today's video, we are revisiting one of our favorite pistols, the Smith & Wesson M&P 1522 pistol. Unfortunately, due to some ATF shenanigans, this one was benched while the pistols with attached stabilizing braces thing was worked out in court. We're not going to go into politics. The ATF, our feels on them, so put your torches and pitchforks away. We're mentioning it because it had an effect on this firearm's availability. That's about all we're going to say on the ATF. The most recent version of the 1522 pistol has a faux buffer to which Smith & Wesson attached a S&B tactical brace. It was sold in this configuration until the ATF pistol brace thing happened, at which point Smith & Wesson quietly discontinued the firearm. With the ATF ban undone by the courts, we're again able to safely shoot this firearm, and conveniently enough, it is also back on the Smith & Wesson website, minus the discontinued label. I have no idea if that means the firearm is back in production, but I hope so. Let's go into why I'd like to see the 1522 pistol back in production if it's not already. Doritos. The Smith & Wesson M&P 1522 pistol is an AR style blowback operated pistol chambered in .22 long rifle. It is 2 inches wide, 7 inches long, and weighs in a very light 53.6 ounces unloaded. The firearm comes with one 25-round AR style magazine with 10-round magazines also available. Many features of the 1522 are borrowed from its larger centerfire AR brothers. The pistol grip, M-lock rail, Picatinny style rail, faux buffer tube to attach things like a brace. As a result, the 1522 pistol and rifle can be both good training aids for those who prefer AR style centerfire firearms. In the semi-automatic auto-loading rifle game, the Smith & Wesson 1522 has many competitors, but none bigger than the Ruger 1022. The natural question to ask is, how does the 1522 stack up against the 22 that is almost universally regarded as a 22 every firearms owner should have at least one of? In two extremely important metrics, accuracy and reliability, I'm calling them equals. With both firearms, I go hundreds and hundreds of rounds between failures, using both the good ammo and other high quality ammo. Since the brace ban was lifted, this 1522 pistol has seen some quality range time. In just the last week, I have about 1,000 rounds through it. The only failure is the one shown in today's video. There are two things I have found that can negatively affect reliability, and they are easy to not notice and assume bad ammo or bad firearm. The first is loading the magazine. The pull down button is nice, but I find if I load multiple rounds at a time, then release the button, the round didn't stagger properly in the magazine, which then led to a higher chance of a double feed. The second thing that commonly happens without realizing it is accidentally using the magazine as if it were a monopod. If I'm sitting at a bench and don't have a sandbag, sometimes I'll get a little lazy with my technique and accidentally end up with the magazine in that monopod situation. I believe in today's video, this is what happens when you see that one failure. What do you think, Fred? Oh, you need one more, huh? He's like, we're going to get more failures if you don't give me another T here, boss. Okay, so I think it goes 4 of diamonds, maybe 6 of spades, and then maybe 4 of hearts, something like that. The 4 of diamonds on the left, I will do 10 shots with the quick flip magnifier. We're going to take the quick flip magnifier off, and then I'm going to do the next 10 at the 4. It might be 4, 8, 4, but there's like 2 4s on the row, third from the bottom. We'll see if I can hit it. Well, with the magnifier, I should be able to hit it multiple times. Without the magnifier, that's going to be the question. Here we go. 10 at each one. Trigger didn't reset. Okay, hopefully my counting was accurate there. We're about to find out, I guess. That's a fire one. Where'd that one I ejected go? There it is. Okay, let's load this back in real quick. And now I'll do the 10-ish with no quick flip magnifier. Let me just make sure I can see which one it is. Okay. I think I can see it. Here we go. This may show the value of having some type of simple magnification for you. Let's turn this up one dot. Here we go. Here we go, red. Okay, so my counting was a little bit off. Magnifier got a 2-shot advantage, so we're gonna do 4 shots at the with no magnifier. All right, here we go. Now we check our target. Did we even hit it? Survey set. I have reloaded our magazine and I've moved us 1 day over. What we're going to do here is, okay, 12 shots, 50-yard gong, no magnifier. 12 shots, 50-yard gong with the magnifier. Theoretically, we should hit it more with the magnifier. Let's find out. Here we go. Let's see if which one we hit it more. We're going to start with no magnifier. I feel like we hit it at least 10 of 12 times, but I don't know. We'll have to review target cam. A few of those, we might have even hit the center clacker. Here we go, 12 more. Like many firearms, I'd say they are more accurate than the user, with the right optic helping bridge that gap. With this 1522 pistol, I'm able to easily engage our reactive targets that were set up between 25 and 50 yards. It's certainly capable of stretching its legs a little more than that, but to me, 50 yards and end feels like the most common range for this firearm. While it doesn't have iron sights, the flexibility of the long Picatinny style rail gives the user many optic options. One gripe some 1022 users have is on the Ruger rail, it comes loose if you forget to Loctite it properly, and it's shorter than some would prefer. On models like the 1022 Lite, that short rail limits sight options significantly compared even to this 1522 pistol. Compared to my 1022 Lite that only has a scope on it, this 1522 has iron sights, a red dot, and easily accommodates a magnifier behind the red dot. Two more features of the 1522 that I very much appreciate over the stock 1022 are the easy to use AR style magazine release and the bolt release. On the 1522, when I need to change magazines, I can use my index finger to engage the magazine release, let the magazine drop free, and then insert a fresh magazine. On my 1022, most days, the stock magazine release is too far from my hand to engage with an index finger, and part of the time, a 10-round magazine won't drop free on its own. Stock 1522 versus stock 1022, as far as reloading goes, advantage goes to the Smith & Wesson. The bolt release is another major but noticeable difference. On my 1022, if the bolt is locked back, like say when the range goes cold, to release the bolt, I have to pull the bolt back and then unlatch a cumbersome bolt latch. On the stock 1022, you can't just pull the bolt back and have the bolt stop disengage. On the 1522, when the bolt is locked back, you can either hit the bolt release or pull the charging handle to release the bolt. And I have to say, it does feel movie cool every time you flop that bolt release and drop the bolt on a fresh magazine. Stock 1522 versus stock 1022, as far as the bolt release goes, in my opinion, again, advantage goes to the Smith & Wesson, both in terms of function and cool factor. Mostly function, but also cool. Speaking of cool, the 1522 pistol certainly nails the cool factor. The lightweight, compact, but attachment-friendly nature of the 1522 make it eye candy at the range. Goldie gets looks, the Sound of Freedom gets looks, but a close third as far as attention getters go is the 1522 pistol. Besides looking cool, being a training aid for a centerfire firearm, and a fun plinker, some are going to ask, what real-life use does the 1522 pistol have? As if those last three didn't matter enough. Would I consider this my ideal home defense firearm? Well, it wouldn't be my first choice. But not everything needs to be that. Where I think this firearm has an excellent use case is as a competition zombie shoot gun. Being cool and LARPing at the zombie shoot go hand in hand. The only thing cooler than those two things is also having a reliable firearm. Too often you see cool and zombie shoot get ruined by an irreliable BB gun masquerading as a 22. The M&P 1522 allows you to both look cool and have a reliable functional firearm for the competition. On top of that, the short barrel and lightweight make it a very maneuverable firearm for the stages where you have to shoot around corners or between obstacles. The stages where you are capacity limited and forced to reload, the easy to get to controls and magazines will be quicker compared to these stock 1022s. It's almost like having a Schofield revolver going against a single action army in a which reloads faster competition. The 1522 has been long enough out now where magazines are just as available as 1022 magazines available, with what I'm calling the same capacity options available. We've spent the majority of the video so far covering positives. Are there any negatives to the 1522 pistol besides it potentially being discontinued still? I'd argue the faux buffer tube is a slight negative. While it is nice having it to mount a brace, those who accidentally use a different type of plastic and mount to stock without the proper tack stamp might find themselves in hot water. I'd prefer if it was removable instead of frame integrated. Minor gripe, but that's pretty much all I got. Being a highly customizable firearm, most of it is good enough for most consumers, and those who want a different grip, trigger, widget, or something else are going to customize it no matter what. Here's to hoping the 1522 pistol comes off the discontinued list and goes back into production if it's not already. Well, that sounds like the perfect spot to call it a day on today's video. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, maybe share it with your friends and family. Those things are free and help the channel greatly. If not, sleep tonight knowing Fred is judging you. Well, anyway, we hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good day. More Treatos, Frederick? Treatos, human. And then ice cream. Maybe some ice water.